people up there. We're up to what? 35 right there. Okay.
The internet went down.
Internet went down. That's what it is. Okay. Yeah. You cellular data. Wi-Fi is not working.
Yes, sir. Make most. Are we down on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're still on. Let me take the Wi-Fi off. Yeah. So.
Roll with the punches. Technical difficulties.
Can't hear anything, eh? Okay, darn.
Because we muted.
Oh, shoot. Okay, we're
Sorry,
back.
guys. We're in the studio. Our internet went down.
So we'll I guess right now we're on YouTube. Not YouTube. We're on IG Live.
Instagram.
We're gonna double check and troubleshoot what we need to. But I'm glad to have a couple of my day ones in here. Do me a favor, everybody. Send this out to 5 people. Our internet just went down, so we lost the MC Ebon account. We're up to like 35 people. So let's get back in there and send this out. We'll get back. You guys can hear me though, correct? Okay, it's working out. Perfect. I like that though. You guys were on it right away, like always. We need that support. But we were just what was the last thing we were just talking about? I know it wasn't about inflation. We were just talking about.
You talk about the cost of your groceries going up.
Yes. So let's find. That's one. I feel like that's one of the first steps, because one thing, as much as life is not all about money, money plays an important role.
It does. Yeah.
So if you can understand your finances, if you can understand where your money goes, it could play a big part into your success and you having a better 6 months. Because if you can save money, that means certain bits of your money can go to certain that can help you better yourself.
Well, what they say is that they say money don't matter, but all those things that we keep track of and we could count. Everything else in life is how we feel and our perception of it. But money is not up for debate. It's what you have. Let's count. And I think when you start to get your finances in order, I've always been a big believer in this. You can start to contribute in other aspects of your life. Like, the reason why we mentioned this before in the previous episode, the reason why somebody may not have the time to get the chance to go get a home cooked meal is because they're going in and off shift, right? They don't have that time to rest, So that's why I encourage everybody. I'm not saying be in love with money to eventually where you lose yourself, but how society is designed, how the world that we live in, this is something that we should take into consideration, and it could help us in other aspects of our life. I mean, there's so many people that should get some type of assistance in as far as going to see a therapist or just making sure their life aligns with everything else they want for themselves. And no good therapist is free, and that's something that we do not play with. Like when it comes to mental health or anything, like anything worth of value, anything good to get the top tier, usually some of the things that are publicly funded, it's never at its best capability to help you. So, these are some of the things that we could help contribute.
We might have to get you to just a little louder. You said can't hear you properly.
Sorry, guys.
We'll make him repeat that again.
Sorry, we're still trying to figure out if we're back on YouTube. To the IG family, we're currently only talking to you guys, so we can actually look straight at you guys. But some of the things that we're talking about, having your finances in order, just to start to focus on the parts of your life that matters, Once you take care of the money situation, other things will start to matter. Some of you got up this morning, there's other aspects that you want to focus on your life, but you have to go to work, or you have work a shift coming up, and you can't separate that from what it is that you want to do because you got to make a living. So I encourage everybody to take that serious. I'm not saying fall in love with money, but understand and utilize money for what it is. It's a tool.
I was watching Judge Mathis's, I think over the weekend or something, and these two brothers went to court, and there was one entrepreneur and then one who's like a corporate person, and they were talking about the debate about people who work the 9 to 5 and them thinking that it's the safer route. So when they look at it as the safer route, they don't use the extra time that they get because all they're worried about is, making sure they get the job done at their work or whatever the case may be. Have you ever got into a debate or heard that talking where you're trying to encourage somebody who works a 9 to 5 may have a busy schedule, but to them it's like that's what they need to do because it's the safe route, and they need to be so locked in on the safe route.
Well, that's the thing, it's about making sure that our future, we're stable. We want to go, we want to make sure that we could predict our future, right? Some of the things why we stay in jobs and not want to expand and reach our full potentials, because it's the only way we could guarantee 2 weeks from now that we get that paycheck, and at the same time, taking that risk taking that risk, I should say, because it's all risky, is eventually like saying no to your dreams, right? Saying no to your dreams, because of course paychecks are safe, but you don't want to go through life safe. Eventually you want to get out on the playing field and take full advantage of what it is that's going on.
And a lot of people want, we're in an age right now in society where most people are like thousandaires, but they want the millions, or they want a lot of money. And you got to understand, those people who are there doing it, they have to take a risk. And they always talk about no risk, no reward. And sometimes you got to you got to be in an uncomfortable place where you're not used to see something different or see a different result that you're looking for. And we always talk about learning from others, like, whether it's reading or whether it's watching a video, or, there's so many ways where you can educate yourself on what people have gone through to become successful, so that we don't make those same mistakes. That's why a lot of books come out, a lot of biopics, so many things come out with people. I wonder why that is. Let me double check. Voice is really low. I can't hear properly. I wonder if it's because of AirPods. That could be a thing. Are we good now? Are we back? Let us know if you guys can hear us, or we have to project our voice a little louder.
We'll project our voice a little louder. We apologize. We're working the circumstances. Make it roll, but we'll try to project our voice a bit louder for you guys.
Shout out to my guy Minkus. That's one of my real day ones. Helped me out about 10 years. Never forget that guy. Appreciate you, my bro. We gotta link up though. I only see our Motivation Mondays, nowhere else, bro. We gotta link up sometimes. Can't just be social media, but I hope the family, the kids are good. But let us know in the comments. I don't see no thumbs up. I see people coming in, but let us know if our voice is back to where it needs to be, so you guys can hear what we guys are talking about. We don't want to waste these great gems and what we're talking about. So I'll wait. I see we have people here, but nobody is. I know we're using the regular data. Okay, we're good. We're back to it. But yes, so you have the safe route, and you have the, what would you call the other route? Because it's not that it's unsafe, but I can tell you some days are not.
It's the risk to grow. It's all risky. If you want to, if you cannot risk, you cannot grow. If you cannot grow, then what else is there? I think that's what life is all about. It's about each day getting better than who you were yesterday, and that requires you taking some type of risk, right? Stepping out of your comfort zone, right? Maybe learning a new trade, a new set of skills to get into a different kind of occupation, right? Investing that little money that you have saved to further expand your foundation for you to invest in property, stocks, real estate, like any kind of investment that you want to do. So that's risk. Investing is risky, right? Even investing in yourself is also risky. Quitting your job, hoping that another job will give you the opportunity or the search of meaning that you're looking for. Nothing is guaranteed in this life. So whenever you're coming out of your comfort zone to further yourself, it's always risky.
And we wouldn't encourage anybody to quit your job before you find another job. Find that job while you're in that job before you do quit, if that's something that you're looking for. Well,
equip yourself. Here's another thing that I learned. Equip yourself, learn a new set of skills, do more than what you're paid for. I'm not saying go be the person that's doing everything that the job pays, but do more than you're paid for so you show value in a company. One of the things that people have trouble with is negotiation, because they're scared to say what they want, because if they say they don't get it, they fail. So when it comes to such as access,
if you do some of the necessary things before, you don't always have to be in a situation where it's like, where they always talk about when people are in situations, that's when they like to pray. Like when things are going bad, and all of a sudden they're praying and doing things that they wouldn't do. But we encourage everybody to do the things you need to do ahead of time, so you're not put in a situation where at die last minute, you're like, you know, you're scrambling to do certain things, and if you had took the time to prepare or analyze or you know, just get things in order, you wouldn't be in that, like, you're gasping for air. Like you're I know Eric Thomas always talks about
making decisions under pressure is usually not the best decisions, right? You want that relaxation, that time to escape from your problem, for actually to analyze and see what's best for you, right? So that's the thing about preparing for tomorrow. You know, that's what we say all the time. Those who fail to plan to fail, right? You got to plan while you're ahead, right?
And, you know, shout out to my boy Cordell. It's crazy because we were supposed to do a concert last week, but they denied the artists from coming into. I hate that they still do this stuff, but, like, you know, our border patrol, sometimes they're super on it, and obviously you didn't have the Drake Connect, so can't really make that phone call like these artists usually do. But, you know, just like something we never prepared for, now we got to go back to the drawing board, prepare. Canada Day long weekend coming up, so we're about to announce one of our events that we're bringing back. Sundance should be dropping. We're gonna announce that, so the return of Sundance, our Afrobeat Day Party, and then Caravana. It hasn't been back after 2 years, so we're very excited. We're getting prepared. We're gonna be making a lot of announcement coming up in the next few weeks. So shout out to all my business partners. It looks good when we're putting these stuff out, but trust me, there's a lot of things and a lot of meetings and a lot of back and forth. It's not an easy life, but somebody has to do it, and people like to go out, enjoy. Right now we're in Gemini season, so if we have any Geminis in here, happy birthday to you, or happy early birthday, or happy belated birthday to you. We make sure during the seasons we acknowledge you guys, and, you know, all the way to, you know, Scorpio season, where it comes to my season. I always gotta throw it in there because it gets a few laughs here and there, you know, bang, bada bing, bada bing, bada boom. But yes, 11/23. We said our affirmation. We're talking about how to have a better 6 months to end the year, right? Is there anything that we need to discuss more on that topic?
Set boundaries, you know, say what you want, set goals. We're gonna talk about why people fail to set goals, but set boundaries, set goals, you know, have self-awareness, and just connect with the right people. And that's part of you setting goals. So learn up till today, whatever you've been through does matter, but don't let it defeat you, right? Learn from it. There's nothing you could do, right? Don't let it define exactly who you are. Who you are is not defined by the situation or your circumstance. You define your situation or your circumstance, right? There's a great debate whether or not are we the same person across our situations, or a situation makes us who we are, right? The strong-willed people stay the same across all situations, right? Right? If you're a good person, you're a good person regardless what you get out of it. You're not a good person because you get the recognition, right? There's this debate about people recording before they give somebody money, and if they're not recording to show it to the world, then they're not giving that money, right? You're the same person across our situation, right? So don't let situation or your circumstances define who you are. If you've been through hardship, you're the higher above. I don't want to say God for the other religious believers is if you feel like the chips are stacked against you, don't let it define you. It does not make you. It does not break you, right? What it could transcend you to a better future, for a better self, and that's what it's about. That's the most important thing about all of this. Regardless if you achieve your goal at the end of the year or not, are you a better person than who you were yesterday? That's a win, right? Health-wise, education-wise, anything. Right? If you're a better father, anything. Are you a better person than who you were yesterday? And by that, confronting your fears, what you fear most. Because if you can stand up to the things that you fear most, you're automatically in a place to win. Because those things you fear the most are the reason why you don't act upon your plans, right? Then anxiety kicks in because you're worried about being defeated, right? Face what you fear most. It'll make you a stronger person.
And I see a lot of hearts, a lot of love. Shout out my guy Jimmy from the other side. He's always showing love. Every post, every story post. I appreciate it, brother. You'll be surprised. I don't know. You know, you always make it a thing, but we appreciate all the support that we get. Z God, my guy, what's good? A lot of people coming in. I like that. Yes, 11:26. You just joined us. You're not too late. We got about 15 more minutes left. We're here discussing about how to have a better 6 month, certain things that we can do. And I realized, as you mentioned, setting boundaries. The more boundaries you set, when you set the right boundaries, you'll complain less. Mm-hmm. I've been jumping back on Twitter recently. I kind of had a little hiatus, but I'm back on Twitter and kind of happy I'm back. But I see a lot of people complain. It's funny. It's a free space where you can just speak your open mind, free. What do you call it?
Freedom of choice, freedom of speech.
So
I want to say something about so this is the thing about freedom of speech, and because it's quite funny when people get into it. This does not necessarily mean what you say is right. Is you allow everybody else to say what it is, even if you disagree, right? So the whole freedom of speech, you can say whatever, but then people will get in an argument trying to debunk somebody else's point of view. We must understand we're all unique individuals. Even in the exact same household, you can't get equal outcome. Right? You can't get equal outcome. You see siblings with different personalities and how they conduct themselves in a different home. So when we get on these social platforms and these worldwide stages and we get into these arguments and these things, you understand what free speech actually means. Is allow everybody else to speak their mind. Even if it offends you, that's what they think. That's from their perspective, right? Because we all have a view of the world from a small window that's dirty.
Facts. And shout out my trainer, killed me this morning. But I know I think you should be trained. I think you should be trained right now, but sometimes he puts it on in the gym. So to other people, if you're listening right now at the gym, through the aux cord and you're getting your training in,
do extra push-up for Motivation Monday. Do extra lap.
There you have it. This guy killed me today, and I'm happy that I'm actually happy I'm working on in the morning. Sometimes it's annoying, like I didn't eat breakfast today, but like I'm happy. You know, I'm down 7 pounds. I don't even know how, but like we're seeing the results, and I can, like, you know, I feel good. I feel better, and you know, I'm getting a little stronger. Yeah, they're on the speaker, so kudos to you. I know the ladies are killing it right now. Like Max said, get the extra. Today I was doing burpees and doing some mountain climbers, and I couldn't wait to be done. But you know, I was there, and we had some people encourage us on the sideline. So if you're in the sideline, make sure you encourage somebody today. It may hurt right now, but it's for the better gain, right? So we encourage everybody that's in the gym. You guys the ladies in that gym they're tough, bro. Sometimes I'm looking at them like, God damn, how you guys doing this? But you know, shout out to our FA family that's out there. Not all of us could be like my guy Max the Goat over here who could just do everything on his own. But you know, we're getting there. We're working.
I don't want to take all the credit because I mean, when I first started working, I had a trainer. You know, I mentioned
facts.
No, you
actually did.
We need that. I forgot those days. We need that training wheel. So I'm not gonna take that like I'm just this person. You know, we all need somebody along the way to help us. You know, and that's the thing. That's why I encourage people. If you're going through something and you know somebody can help you, like we talk about therapy, connecting with your right friends. You know. If you know even all your friends are not the right people for you, it's okay to step back. You're not a bad person, right? And you're not weak because you ask for help. You're actually strong, right? Being vulnerable doesn't make you weak, right? Understanding your flaws, that you're vulnerable, and this is something that I need help with. And eventually you can stand up tall. Now people come to me, advice is working out. It's totally different from the person who was asking somebody else advice from 3 years ago. But that's what I talked about earlier, becoming better than who you were yesterday, right? So I could stand here in that domain as somebody working out. I'm not in the same place I was 3 years ago. I was actually going back and forth with my trainer about my program. He's like, hey, this is great. I'm actually going to use it. And to me, that was like a pat on the back. Like, it really felt good about the things that I needed to do, right? So that's what it's kind of all about. Because we all need that training wheel, man. As a kid, you know, just like get on the back and start pedaling, right? So if you're going through something and you have somebody helping you, you know, take full advantage of it, right? Take full advantage of it, learn from it, teach, learn, study, grow, right? And pass it on, because someday somebody else will be looking for you for answers.
Facts. And oh God, my guy Ross, Westside Ross in the building, in the place. Seen a lot of, 1-2 celebs coming through, but that's a dope entrepreneur, my good friend. He's doing this thing internationally. We had a trip to Atlanta together, so I'm happy to see some of my people, how they've taken their brands to a next level. And as you talk about, I was very impressed this morning. We were talking about like avocados and boiled eggs and certain things. We had a little debate about it, but when you're talking about the sugar intake, that's what my trainer was talking about this morning. So you have educated yourself correctly.
3 years ago, that's the thing. That's why you got to learn. If you're doing something, really understand it. See what it is. Know what works best for you, right? Don't just trust. I mean, we learn from experts. We learn from reading. We learn from knowledge. We learn from like basic knowledge within ourselves. But that's what it's all about, So it's like some of these things. Sometimes I catch myself like I didn't know this 3 years ago, right? Then you look back, it's something to be proud of.
And it's crazy, like it's kind of crazy how the years go by. Like when we think about even 20, I went to this event, DJ Charlie B's album listening session, and I seen one of my guys. We're actually born. We had the same birthday, but we were in the.
Ebo just wanted to throw that in there.
No, I swear, like no, because I'm trying.
No correlation to the story. Just to throw in there. November 1st, the Scorpios. Yes,
we were in the Jordan campaign for Be Like Mike when they brought back the 6 rings and the certain shoes, but we're in a campaign that was from 2017, and I was like, I couldn't believe it's been that long. I was like, yo, you sure? He's like, yeah, bro, 2017. I'm like, bro, time flies, and that's why you gotta the months, the days, they really count.
Everything counts.
And not everybody is blessed to see tomorrow. Like I lost one of my boys last week on a boat, Julio, and RP to him, and it's like. When these sudden deaths and things happen, nobody plans for these things to happen. Like they just happen out of nowhere, and then
Wake
boom.
up call, different perspective of life.
So I encourage everybody. Let's really plan. Let's not let these next 6 months that are ahead of us go to waste. I want us to, let's make sure. Like I ain't gonna lie, I feel like I had a good start. We were in Ghana in December, January. Got to go to Jamaica. I don't really care about traveling no more because I'm super locked in right now. I got some goals I gotta accomplish it and
Knock them down.
So I did what I gotta do. I got a couple trips coming up, but like I got some goals I gotta knock down and lock in. So I encourage everybody. Harlem, Sean, my guy, that's our captain of our team. I think we're 2-0. We won our game yesterday. I signed up for our soccer league. I haven't been able to even go to practice or the games because things are outside's opening up. They need the MC services. It's not. Yesterday I finished the ball tournament. Boom. Had to rush to a day party, but kudos to him. He scored a couple goals as well too. So I'm looking forward to this Saturday. Today, the Saturday will be 11th. So yes, I'll be at practice and then playing our first game on the 12th, which I can attend as well too. So I'm pretty amped. I'll have a day party. Picture the highlight. Jeez, it's okay. We'll figure it out. But as long as I'm at practice, that's what really matters. But let's get into our next topic: why people don't set goals. And I feel like everybody sets goals in their mind, but that's just one component to actually accomplishing or setting a goal. Because it could be all here, but it requires action.
All right, you could put it in your mind, especially when we talk about putting it on paper. When you put it on paper, you have signed a contract to yourself. And once you're failed, you're failed. And I think that's why people fail to set goals. People don't want to go through, people want to have that excuse, that room of this is something I never wanted, but you wanted it. You want that new job, but you fail to do the necessary things. So you lie to yourself and say, I'll work on it next year. Set goals, put a time frame on it, be specific about what you want, right? And here's the reverse of it too that I want people to start looking. What will happen if you don't achieve that goal, right? So there's things that you need to do. If it's as far as, let's give me an example, a new job, right? So maybe you're getting underpaid and you feel like it's not up to par with your bills, right? So you fail to set that new goal to learn a new skills or even change job. What will eventually happen is you start to accumulate debt because you're under. How will your life look like a year from now when you've been dealing with going under each and every month? What's the worst case scenario? That should be additional motivator for you to set goals, right? So it's not so much as why people fail to set goals, right? But also look on the other side. What happens if you don't set goals? People protect themselves. It's called willful blindness. In essence, saying that if I don't see, it cannot hurt me. But here's the thing though. It may not hurt you tomorrow. It may not hurt you next week. But when it does come to hurt you, it's going to be much more painful than it would have if you faced it earlier. That's why I said, look where you fear most, right? So the things that you're avoiding, the things that you need to know, the goals that you need to set that you're not setting, right? And you just going through life casual, right? Just because you fail to set a goal tomorrow, you're not going to fail tomorrow. Just like if you set that goal, you're not going to succeed tomorrow. Failure doesn't happen overnight, just like success doesn't happen overnight. Success is discipline each and every single day through the process of achieving your goal. Failure is neglecting the things that you need to do each and every day, right? And eventually you get to a point where you do not know how you got there, which you do, willful blindness, like I just said. You willfully decided to be blind from the things that you need to do, right? That's why people fail to set goals. They do not want to see their failure because that's what it symbolized. That the thing that I said to myself, I failed at, I didn't get there, right? And that's very dangerous. Right? It's better to see so that when things are going wrong, you can adjust. So a year from now is not so bad. 6 months from now is not so bad. A week from now is not so bad. But if you constantly turn a blind eye and say the monster is not there, the monster is not there, next thing you know, the monster will be behind you, ready to eat you.
And as kids, we're growing up, Cookie Monster, you want none of those problems. I was gonna say, sometimes not even sometimes, the universe has a crazy way of making things align, especially when it comes to like if something comes to your thought process in terms of your mind, whether it's a goal. And it came for a reason. Don't ever doubt that. Sometimes people be coming out like, I don't have time to deal with it. It came for a reason. It's just time for you to unpack. It's like groceries. You go to the grocery store, you get the groceries. What do you do after? You have to unpack. Sometimes you're just gonna have to unpack it.
If it came to your mind, it means something to you. If it came to your mind, it means something to you.
There's certain things when it comes to groceries. Some, if you buy Ritz crackers or whatever, you can eat those right away. If you buy meat, you're gonna have to wash it, season it. Everything requires something that's gonna be different. So I put that out there because sometimes you can correlate real life situations to even your goals. Now let's see. And the preparation piece. Sometimes people replace that with the idea that one cannot control everything to avoid the need to prepare.
Read that to me again one more time.
She says the preparation piece. Sometimes people replace that with the idea that one cannot control everything to avoid the need to prepare. So the fact that people don't
fail to prepare, right? Those who fail to plan, right?
Plan to fail.
You got to take things serious. You got to take things serious, right? There's a time to joke, and there's a time to know when it's time to put on your boots and get to work. And like I just said, dignity of choice, the things that we talked about. If you decide not to do the necessary things, nobody owes you nothing, right? And if it's hard, right? And while it's hard, that's when you should do it the most. Because when it's easy, you're not gonna do it. People often say, I'll do this when I feel right. No, when you feel right, you're going to do what feels good. You're not going to get up in your comfortable state to go do the things that are hard. When it's hard, make it hard. It counts most. And prepare for tomorrow. Those who fail to plan are planning to fail. That's the message. We say this each and every week. Those who fail to plan are planning to fail. And
we gotta, let me make sure I get this correct and not make sure we're good to go. We got our guy Derek in the building as well too. I see him nodding on as well too. New member to the family coming to help us out. But this is what we do each and every week. You'll be the gems you hear. It's encouraging. Shout out to my bro Banarizi. Aaron, how are you? Yesterday I got to watch my cousin play in the tournament, her sister, and she's married now, so it's like I had to announce her name, but it was the first time announcing her name with a different last name, so it was kind of awkward, but for a good reason. Shout out to her husband Traffic as well too. He was there to support. But yes, family, I love when the family supports my blood cousins. But if you're still here, we're wrapping up. I know we usually do 10:30 to 11:30. We started a little late, had a little technical difficulty, but I believe we're gonna wrap out in about 6 minutes. We're here talking about how to have a better 6 months to end the year off right, and now we're just talking about why people don't like to set goals or why they don't set goals. And we're just talking about the importance of goals and even the importance of understanding why you need to do these things. It's like you said, it's like it's so much easier when you have emails to send or read something to just be like, you know what, let me go watch Netflix. Let me tell you something, I'm so behind on shows right now. I haven't been able to watch Snowfall, The Lincoln, or like there's so many things. I'm so happy Power is not here right now.
There's things that matter. I'm not saying to be completely observant, wanting so much out of life that you're not entertained, but life balance. If things haven't worked out, maybe you do need to work a little bit more hard than you are entertained, right? And the thing about it is the people that you're watching is that's their work. They gotten to the point like that's their work. They have gotten to the point where your joy, right, is them their work, them getting paid off it. And even though they don't enjoy those moments, because guess what, when you're enjoying those moments, guess what they're doing? They're writing the next season, working on how else can they get you to be in that comfort zone, giving you the drug that you need, right, for them to get paid, right? So that's the thing is about, take that time and understand yourself. If you got to a time where you can have the relaxation and the time to take away from the hard things in life, right? You work so hard, you go on vacation, maybe watch a couple of episodes on the plane, right? Learn to balance, right? Learn to balance. Don't overwork yourself, but don't play more than you work. Life is not designed for that.
Sometimes you gotta just literally go on airplane mode or do not disturb. And just, if you gotta add favorites to make sure whoever needs to have the right contact or access to you, you gotta do those things. But there's certain things you gotta do. Like, I love the iPhone, I ain't gonna lie, because it's actually helping me out so much. Now, if I need to wake up early or there's an alarm clock, there's reminders. I'm starting to use these features. I pay how much money a month and how much is the phone worth. I gotta make most use of our iPhones, even stocks. Like, you can literally go up. I know a couple splits. We were talking about it earlier with Wavy. There's a couple companies right now that are doing splits. Maybe you couldn't afford it at the prices that. Now they're, 4-to-1. Apple did that a couple years ago, and you're seeing the growth. Like, there's certain companies that are going to be here forever that you can benefit for the long run, for your future, for retirement. So there's so much we can do. There's so much education that people can go after. And I encourage somebody, like you said earlier on, learn a new skill. Right now there's Humber. I know Humber has a plumbing program where it's free. If you want to learn how to be a plumber, you can go apply and it's free.
Don't be surprised if you see me there.
No, literally, yeah, bro. It's I got the email and I was like, oh wow, dope. My other boy right now is in a course. You pay $2,000 and they take you through like 6-7 weeks. But the person whose course it is, they actually guarantee you a job where you're making about $70,000 to $80,000 on your first year. So you go through the 6 week, and even me, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Might put a couple racks in there and just take a new course, learn something new. You can do it remotely at home. If anybody wants that link as well, too, feel free to shout me in the DMs. What's our information is your information too, and we're gonna get a better job at sharing out what's happening in the community. Siddiqa, proud of you. You being consistent with your YouTube. I see you working and grinding with your podcast as well too, and I love that everybody is doing something. I ain't gonna lie. I'm seeing, every day something's popping up on Instagram or on Snapchat or on Twitter where, somebody's starting a new business. And summer, it's about to be busy, and we're outside. People are outside. Companies are outside. Entrepreneurship is outside. It's at an all-time high, I think, right now, but it's for the better.
For the better.
Women are killing the game,
yourself.
Yes, no problem, Siddiqa. I gotta go listen to it. I got you on my as I do my podcast. I'm actually starting to listen to more podcasts. Jada, you promised you would tune in, and you did. I love those, even though that's a buzzer beater right now. Shout out to my Hoop Queens family. She has a show coming up as well too. I'm actually about to work on your after party in a few. So I make some calls once I get the chance. But thanks for tuning in. I know for sure, Jada, you definitely are preparing for a better 6 months. I met Jada 2 years ago. She was an artist, just started, and now she's doing shows, back-to-back shows. Now we're planning after parties. Look at the universe aligning things for us right now. But you put out, she puts out the content, she's putting out the work, she's putting out the music, and now you're getting and seeing, you're reaping the benefits of your hard work. So that's just, to say kudos to you as you get ready to wrap up. We got about 1 minute left. We're gonna get back to asking you guys as well too what topics you guys would love for us to hear, or for us to speak on. We used to do that.
Get the polls going. The DM zone is always open.
I'll open up the questions. I want to engage with the people and get that things going on. And no problem, Jada. You're putting in the work. Proud of you. I'll be there at your show on the 16th, and obviously I'll be at the after party as we're setting it up too. But any last words before we get out of here, Max?
Just have a productive week, have a meaningful week. Like, if things get hard, don't go along with it, right? Just take it in stride.
And as he says that, in order to have a productive week, you got to make the days count and be productive as well. So make today count, no slacking. Let's go out there and do the necessary things that we need to do. And that's Motivation Mondays, educating everybody on self, purpose, passion, and finances. And, our slogan, making the uncle cool while realizing it's
you versus you.
That's Max's speaker, MC Ebone. We are signing out. Thanks for tuning in, even though we had a little technical difficulty. If you're joining us, you can listen to this. The YouTube is back up. We're going to be available.
You might get two sides on the YouTube, but we'll work on getting the full footage out. We roll with the punches. When things go wrong, we don't go along with it. We didn't shut down. We stayed on IG Live. We reconnected back on YouTube. And that's how life is. Things go wrong, don't go along with it. Right? So if you're watching and it seems like, hey, what's going on? Just take it in stride, like we said. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.
And I love what Siddiqa said right here at the end. I'm just going to read it out and we'll sign out. So she says, have a blessed week, everyone. Let today set the tone by being grateful and believing in yourself.
I love that.
Love it. All right, guys. Peace and love.